Everybody, I wanted to do an update on how to fill out a purchase agreement. We're going to be having a live training on purchase agreement, Brbc, and the listing agreement, and forms needed in the near future. But just to do a video so we have it on our site again. So remind you, go to car.org, go to access transactions, zip forms, access now. Be prompted for your username and password. I saved mine on my computer. It's validating membership. Continue. All right, it's logging in right now. All right, go to new upper left-hand corner. New, let's say purchase. We're gonna do office test. And you got to put an address down there. So I'm just going to put the office address. Click residential. There's a little asterisk here. I put active. And then save. Cool. Go to all forms to the upper right hand corner. And then the top two are going to be really the most important on this one. The first one's going to be buyer representation agreement and the purchase agreement. And to remind you, you need to have the buyer's representation agreement before you even show houses. And we're going to need it obviously when you're submitting an offer, because the other side will need to see that as well. So I just opened the buyer's representative agreement. It's just a few pages. Buyer, I'm going to put buyer's name in here. I'm going to put Joe Blow. And then real consultants. Then it's going to be under the broker firm. And then our DRE number is 01526, and then broker associate or salesperson, I'll put my name, you put your name there, 013144423. The dates are going to not be able to put anything in there because it's either you're going to print this when you're done, have them sign this, or you're going to use like electronic signature, the app like DocuSign or AuthentiSign, which AuthentiSign comes free with DocuSign. So that's the first page. Scroll down. Date prepare. I want to put today's date. Joe Blow, buyer, grants, real consultants, and then represented period. I'm going to put today's date. And then it cannot be more than 3 months from today's date. You can renew it, but we need to only put up to 3 months on here because you have to renew it. Or upon completion as a result of transaction, whichever comes first, not to exceed 3 months. This agreement is void unless buyers. Okay, cool. Type of representation. Well, it defaults as non-exclusive, but we want to have an exclusive one, meaning they can't go anywhere. So, I mean, if they don't want to be exclusive with you and they tell you, I mean, obviously leave it. Don't click the box, but obviously exclusive because you want to make sure you're not wasting your time with somebody who's going to be dealing with 10 other real estate agents out there showing them properties and not valuing your time and or just you. But to do it exclusively, we have to show proof that we are actually in fact helping them out. So property type, it's going to default to single family residence, or if it's a multifamily here, put what type of property in here. Now, if there's a specified property, like for instance, if it's one property and they say, buyer's like, hey, you can help me on that one. If it doesn't go through, then, I don't want to buy, I don't want to use an agent, then you put that address there. And that would be pretty much a non-exclusive. Now, locations, this is where we got to start getting more detailed. Like for instance, you got to know, we got to show proof of, we know what the client wants. So counties, I'm going to say Los Angeles County. They want to buy in Los Angeles County. I know that much, right? And they even told me cities, Downey, Lakewood, Whittier. So we're being specific because when we show them properties and or put them on a drip list from the MLS, then we'll have, the criteria that they want. Additional descriptions right here. Additional buyer preferences, if we want to go into detailed, we check that box and then another form will pop up. We'll scroll down to that one when we get to it, but it will pop up. And then properties excluded from this if they want to, exclude certain types of properties. I don't know, properties with pools in those cities, and just put it there. Amount of compensation. This is the one where it's, compensation is not set by law. So I say put the 2.5% because when we ask for the 2.5% from the buyers, so seller side, I'm sorry, we can't go down. Meaning you can't put like 1% here and then ask for 2.5% from the seller because you will not get that. The difference actually, I believe, will go to the buyer for closing costs. For instance, if you put one there, you ask for 2.5, and you're only getting one, the difference will go to the buyers for closing costs. So you can go down, we can't go up. So we will need to, you know, amend this if it's anything lower, technically 2.5%. But technically, again, the way the compensation works is 2.5%. It's technically the buyers paying us, even though we're looking for houses and we're going to put in for um, compensation to be paid by the seller. But like for instance, on most recent transaction we had, the seller was only given 2%, so the buyer came in with the extra 0.5% on the closing costs to make it 2.5% whole. Or if the seller was only given 1.5, then the buyer would be giving the extra 1.5 in closing, through escrow with their fees. But if they don't have, hardly any money or whatever, whatnot, we can work it out. And as long as we have this updated when the time comes, then it is what it is. Let's do what we got to do. I'm not going to stop at anything that's defaulted because these are just read, but anything that we have to, maybe stop and put our anything into, I'm going to stop here. So continued right to payment for broker involved properties. That's like if the 30 days goes by and then they don't want to renew. And they somebody else helps them out and they find a property. I'm just going to put 30 days in there, meaning after the fact that they still owe me. Cancellation rights and notices on an exclusive is effective 30 or blank, actually 30 days after the receipt. So meaning we have 30 days at least of maybe showing or helping them out after they sign the exclusive. Non-exclusive cancellation effective upon receipt, meaning that they can cancel it at any time. So that's why you don't want to put non-exclusive because they can technically cancel. You could be working with them for a month and showing them houses every day, 8 hours a day. But if they send them for the cancellation, then you can't do anything about it. Time to deliver buyer personal information. It's going to be defaulted 5 days, meaning that basically we need to show that they have pre-qualified and or have money to purchase a home. If they don't have funds to pay broker and they tell you straight up, hey, I don't have no money to pay realtor fees, only for closing costs, boom, check that box right there. And any other terms, you put it in right here. And then when it comes down to signing, we sign it, they sign it, boom. Okay, broker compensation advisor is already checked. All this right here you can read. All the rights of the buyers. Initial, they initial, you initial. ADC disclosure is already defaulted. Again, I'm not going to stop at anything other than what we have to fill out. Boom, boom, boom. You can read it, print it out. What is exclusive representation? The buyers have to initial what it is. Basically, also letting them know that they technically owe us the money. Entity buyers is going to be as if it is a corporation, LLC. You click that button and other forms do print up for with the capacity of the signing of those people. And then signature Joe Blow right here, and then date. And then we sign it, date. Buyer's investigations. Okay, that's normal. That they sign it, date it. Broker compensation advisory, just letting them know the rights of us or them in terms of compensation. They sign, they date. Possible representation of more than one buyer or seller disclosure consent. That's kind of like if we have a dual agency in the office right here. Sign date, we sign date. Almost done here on this, at least for the Brbc portion. California Consumer Privacy Act Advisory Disclosure Notice. There you go. Fill it out, sign date. Buyer identification of preferences of properties, number 1. That's because I clicked that button in a little bit earlier when I was talking. This is basically in detailed, and this is pinked out because they have to like fill it up themselves of price ranges they want. It's going to be for primary or single family. So this is like more in detailed um, of what the buyer wants, just to give us more leverage. Also, too, we really helped them out because we knew exactly what they wanted, and this is what we're going to be looking for in the MLS. Confidentiality, okay, blah, blah, blah. Sign date, sign date, sign date. All right, that is it. That is all what is needed to get a BRBC, so we can actually start working with the buyer. I know it sounds kind of fun, but it will make more sense the more you do. So I'm gonna cut this video up and do the purchase agreement in the next video. So I'm gonna be adding this to our library under YouTube, on our YouTube for the BRBC. All right, talk to you later.